by the people, for the people.
That was a nice bit of bowling on your part.
Yes, I got him out.
Bowling in America is different than bowling in cricket.
We should love cricket because our last name's Bowling, and we would probably be great bowlers.
But we're not good bowlers in bowling.
That's
so I'm just saying.
Movie trailer was terrible. The film.
Yeah.
What did you think of the film?
The film was amazing. Very long, 3 hours and 43 minutes, which I like because I feel like I'm getting my money's worth when I'm watching a film that long. You know what I'm saying? It's only a drawback if the film is bad.
Yes,
then you're like, oh gosh, can I make it? But when it's a good film, you're like, I don't want this to end. This is so good. Yes, it was very, very good. What do you think?
I think I was a little leery about watching 3 hours and 43 minutes about 1890 cricket game.
Right.
And but I think this kind of got to the point that you mentioned in one of our other videos for the Black movie review, how good the Indians are at storytelling.
Right.
Because they crafted character development.
Yep.
They made me care about this small village.
Yes.
Their plight. The high stakes of triple taxes versus no taxes. We saw Detective Lance from Arrow be a real douchebag.
And to be honest, he's not always a very likable character in Arrow either.
Maybe it's not acting.
So maybe it's not acting. Maybe he's just not a good guy in real life. But if he's like a level 3 jerk in Arrow, he took it to the full level 10 in this film. Holy cow.
I don't like white people now after this movie. It made me not like white people.
I don't feel that way.
I don't trust them.
Yeah, I don't feel that way.
Especially if they're British.
Yeah, I don't feel that way, especially because we are white. And though we are Americans, some of our ancestry does come from England.
I did not. I thought it was a really good film. My favorite character was Guran, I think was his name. He was the kind of the guru priest of the temple. He
was very intense.
Yes, he had the crazy hair and beard, and he was always cursing. His hair was kind of crazy. He was not the one with the long hair and the beard. That was not the priest. That was like the seer, the fortune teller. Yeah. You don't think that's what I'm calling
No, the priest was the guy who was up in the temple.
Oh, okay. I
right.
see what you're saying.
Yeah, that was somebody different.
Then the fortune teller who told Guri, there's an obstacle in your way. You'll get it, but there's an obstacle.
Right, exactly.
And
we thought the obstacle was going to be the traitorous guy who we referred to as Judas because he was a total traitor. We thought that was going to be the obstacle.
But it wasn't.
There was actually a different obstacle.
Elizabeth, the white woman.
Right.
Who
fell in love
with
Bhuvan.
Yes. And who did it? I fell in love with Bhuvan. I was ready to run off with Bhuvan. And,
he was meant for Gory, so there was no chance of him being with anybody else.
But that seer guy cracked me up with everything when he would get out to bowl. Oh, I will break their backs! And he was just like, what does your mother say now?
Yeah. I'll make you whine for your mother, he said. Yes.
It was a good character. I thought the cripple was a good character.
Yes.
Everything was really good. Again, Aamir Khan, was it a bad performance?
No.
I've never seen a bad performance from this guy.
This is only the second time I've seen him act, and of course the first one was Dangal, also a sports film. My favorite film, very, very good. And so while these are both sports films, I'll be curious to see if Time Magazine will put Dangal in their list of top sports films, because in 2011, they put Lagaan as one of the top 25 all-time sports films. So that's high praise.
This was a really good film. And I saw it on Netflix, and I passed by it because of the 3 hours and 43 minutes.
But because 1893... Cricket. Like, it just didn't sound very good. Right. Because cricket is obviously not an American game. We play baseball. So
Yes.
Right.
And we don't know the rules, really.
No,
I mean,
we
were
had
trying
a
to figure
crash
it out.
course
Yes.
because we were trying to figure it out.
Elizabeth was teaching us cricket, too.
Right, and so then we just went and looked it up and found some rules because in baseball, each side gets 3 outs. And after 3 outs, we're like, okay, when is this inning over?
When is this thing gonna be
but
over?
you get 10 outs, and we were like, holy cow, no wonder you can score over 200 points.
Yes.
Oh, my. Yeah,
And,
that was crazy.
And I mentioned to you that the Dohoney film that I want you to see.
Donnie.
Yeah. That it was
In
really
English, we would pronounce the H.
Yes, and I forget.
But, right.
It's like with the boot knot.
Right,
yes,
exactly.
I really so I wasn't going to watch this film. Then we went with coffee with Joshua that one day to Dutch Brothers and the 3 Indian dudes.
Right.
These 3 young ASU Indian cats. They were fresh off the boat from India. Were hanging out next to us, and I couldn't.
Don't you think they took a plane fresh off the boat?
Off the plane. They were newbies.
Right. Arizona doesn't even have a seaport. So,
they were captivated by America.
Yes.
They were new. They weren't jaded yet.
They weren't jaded to America, is what you're saying. Yes.
And I weaseled my way into the conversation.
Yes. As you are wont to do whenever we are out and about and we see
Indians.
Yes, exactly.
I make a point to talk to Indians and ask them, share my theories about movies, and then see what sticks and see how close I am.
Yes, I am a little more cautious. I don't want to just go around interrupting random people, but you just stare at people and wait for them to notice you.
I do.
And then you go insert yourself into their
yes.
conversation.
Isn't it funny, like with our friends, our Indian friends, when I say Jai Hind, they just look at me.
Yes.
Like
they don't know what to do with you.
They're just like, what?
Yep.
He just said
Who
Jai Hind.
are
They
you,
don't. They look like
where did you come from?
He just said Jai Hind. I cannot believe we're having a conversation about.
So we'll have to ask them if they have seen Lagaan.
And so I went and I was talking with these 3 young cats, and they said you should see Lagaan.
Yes.
You really should. I
mean, was
if you're really a fan of Indian films, this is a good film to see, and I think you'll enjoy it. And then it was based on their recommendation that I thought, you know what, let's watch this and check it out. And it's a completely different pace than America, because we're like fast. We want microwave food, instant coffee. And then you go 3 hours and 43 minutes.
But as I said, I enjoy long movies when they're good because it feels like you're getting your money's worth. So for me, that was not a drawback. A couple of interesting things right off the bat. I recognized Paul Blackthorne's name in the credits, so I knew that Captain Lance was going to be in this film, playing Captain Russell, who was a total jerk.
Yes.
Big plus that Big B is the narrator.
I caught that.
Yes,
you're not a real fan. I am.
We were both listening like, that voice is really familiar. And
this
then
is my Big B.
And then you were the first one to say, I think it's Big B. And I said, I think you're right. So I looked it up, and of course, Big B. Oh, you know what the tip-off was? Before his voice, before they got to the opening credits.
They showed his name.
No, they gave a special thanks to Amitabh Bachchan, and we were like, I wonder if he's going to have like a bit role, like a special appearance, but he was the narrator, and his voice is just perfect for narrating something like this, because it's like it's like a fairy tale epic. So
spray you down
because you may not realize the film is called Lagaan, Once Upon a Time in India. So that makes it like an American fairy tale type film, and so when you hear his voice, that's the perfect voice to narrate something like that. He's awesome.
Now, Aamir and Big B are going to be in a film together coming up called The Thugs of Hindustan.
You told me.
And
I'm
it's
very curious about that.
Where there's like, I don't know, 1800s and they're bank robbers or something.
Right. So that was a couple of things that we noticed right off the bat that were intriguing to us. And then, of course, this is only the second film I've seen Aamir Khan in.
Did you not hate the white people at the end? I hated the white people. Those British, man. Ooh. I can see why we had a revolution against them.
No, I don't hate white people. What I hate is...
I'm transracial.
No, you're not.
I am.
No, you're just conflating things. No, you're conflating things because
really
what you're doing is saying the British people of 1893 equals all white people. That's just not true.
Okay, good point. Right. I yield the floor. Good
yes,
point.
I always make them. That's what I'm known for. So, no, I don't hate. I don't know. I'm not. Who's the master?
Don't
remember?
Start. That was just
right.
a bit. I am your lord with the small L.
Yeah, okay. So anyhow, I also thought it was very cute that Bhuvan was totally naive and totally unaware that he's going to marry Gauri. She already knew that's who she was going to marry.
I like Gauri. I thought Gauri was a good character.
Yes, and she's telling him from the beginning the type of person she's going to marry, and she describes it to a T. And then when she finally, breaks down and tells him how jealous she is of this white woman, it finally clicks in his head. Oh, wow.
I think he was just being coy.
No, because he said, oh, there's only one person in the village that has this tree and it has this yard and has the ox. And by the way, my mother loves you, you silly girl. Where are you going to find anyone else?
I was amazed, and they broke in that song and dance, because when that scene ends, where he does that, there's a huge distance between the two of them. And then we cut to a song, and he's got her by the hand. How did he close that ground so fast? He was just like an elk. He just went like a cheetah.
But remember in Dangal how fast he was as a wrestler. So maybe that's what it was. He was just boom. He was right in there. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, exactly.
He just shot it on the camera.
So
you know, I used to wrestle, right?
Yeah, I've known you for 28 years.
And
I know
I beat
this.
Your brother wrestling.
I remember that as well, because he was a wrestler as well. But
he tried to test him.
A few years younger than
you. Get down, son. Get down.
3.5 years younger than you. So, anyhow, I love the film. I thought it was great. Not only is it in Time's 2011 magazine for the top 25 all-time sports films, but apparently in 2001 it was also nominated for an Oscar, and it was only the third Indian film to be nominated for Best Foreign Language Film.
What were the other two?
I don't remember. They were films that I didn't recognize. One was from like 1957, I think.
I wonder if it was Bharat.
That does not sound familiar.
So anyhow, good film. It was a good movie, and I think the other character I really enjoyed, besides, I like the seer, he was my favorite, and the other one was the Sikh.
I knew you were going to say that. He was
showed
awesome.
Up, and he's like, I'm here to fight the British.
Yes.
If it's with spears or swords,
break them
great.
with anything.
If it's with the wickets and ball, that's fine too.
Exactly.
I am in.
Yes.
And he was a good character.
Yes.
And there's something about the Sikhs, and I think maybe it is, they have a certain je ne sais quoi to them. I don't know if it's the turban and the fact that they have a dagger with them, but there's something very kind of Alibaba about them. I know that's Persian, that's not Sikh, but in my mind there's something very exotic, like if there's a Sikh in the room and he's on your side, you stand a chance. Like, this isn't your mother's Gandhi. This is like, a Sikh. He's going to find a way to get the job done somehow.
Yeah,
they seem very kind of militant, patriotic. They're like Minutemen of India.
Okay.
Like the American version was
Back
Minutemen.
up for a second. Calm down.
What do you mean calm down?
It's
you got
not,
to do your whole thing.
You yielded the floor to me. It's not just that he's not your mother's Gandhi. He's not anybody's Gandhi, okay? He's not like Gandhi
I'm not
at
sure
all.
I think about Gandhi.
Well, he's not like the Sikh in this film.
No. I think I would probably be more on the Bose side of things.
I'm sure. This is a totally different subject, so let's get back to the film.
Now, I think one of the things that would have been a lot better in this film is if the Indians had Veerapan on their team.
Well, some of
because
those
he
English...
would crush their legs, and he would cut their heads off and make them pay and cut the tusk off the elephant that was there.
Some of the British had mustaches that
almost
looked like Veerapan, and then it makes you wonder, did he model his mustache?
Was he like British?
Did he model his mustache after the 1890s British?
Look how much darker I am than you. I'm turning Indian.
No, honey, it's because you're sitting back there, and I'm right under this light here.
I'm transracial. I declare the liberal left said I can self-identify as anything. If that white dude could identify as a Filipino woman, I can identify as a Indian man.
Yeah, except we're not living in the theater of the absurd like the liberals are. Mm-hmm. So we recognize that whatever your ethnicity is, that's what it is. You can't just decide, well, I think I'd like to be something else. Mm-hmm. That does not make any sense. So.
Yeah, okay.
Anyhow.
But Veerapan would have been a great add to that team, don't you think so?
No, he would have literally torn it apart. No, he would have literally torn it apart.
And he would have killed that elephant and taken the tusks.
He also would have killed Captain Russell, so...
Yes, and that would have been... He would have been got away with it in the desert.
Yeah.
For 25 years, they wouldn't have been able to find him.
But it was much nicer to see Captain Russell get his comeuppance by having to go to Africa.
Dude. And
that was nice.
He's got to pay 3
and
years.
He has to pay the triple tax.
How much do you think that tax is? Like, I think that just wiped him out. Like, whatever savings he had saved up for retirement was gone.
Maybe. So, final grade?
Final grade is an A.
Yes,
again.
I agree.
And I don't mean to just be handing these out like candy, like, you know. Like
no, we've just been on a roll of watching some really good films.
Sumya?
Yes.
Is going to blog with us.
I know.
I'm excited about.
Yes.
Hello, Sumya.
Hello,
I hope you're
watching.
And our Indian friends should follow you on Twitter.
I would like to say thank you to the new Indian followers that I have on Twitter. I try to follow everybody back. If I've missed you, it's because it's fallen through the cracks, not because I intentionally, didn't follow you. Although I will have to say, if anybody follows me and they're like anti-American or anti-Israel or anti-Christian, I don't follow those kind of people back. But if you like me and you're following me, then I'm guessing you're not going to be anti-American, anti-Christian, or anti-Israel. Thus, I'll follow you back.
And on the website on Saturday nights is Goa Trance Night. And I have Goa Trance music playing right now. If you flip over that, by the time you watch it, it's probably over.
Yeah, it probably won't be Saturday
on Saturdays,
anymore.
And then I think it's Saturdays is Goa Trance and Thursdays is Navaran, which really is kind of Arnab stuff, really. I've been watching Arnab pulling his stuff down. You
neglected to mention that my Twitter handle is @TishBowling.
It is @TishBowling.
By the way.
Your Twitter handle is @TishBowling.
Yeah, very simple.
The movie was outstanding.
Great.
I didn't again, and I can't stress this enough. This movie was good enough to take different language, different culture, different game, different time period, in 3 hours and make me care about it.
3 hours and 43 minutes.
And make me care about it.
Gangs and make us want to watch
it. Different because it was violence and it was thuggery and it was organized crime kind of, and that was appealing. That appeals to the mucho machismo in me. But this took cricket in India in the 1890s, and it was. With really
arrogant good. British people who are really annoying to watch.
The British, they really do suck. Like, I mean, even today they suck with the king and queen.
Too
and
much
the marriage.
Liberalism.
Who cares about the royal family? Who cares, dude?
I don't care about that either.
Who's Prince? Whatever. Yeah, Prince kissed my butt, dude. Who cares? Do you care about the? People lose their minds over this.
I don't care about the monarchy over there. I am very sad at how liberal a country they have become.
They should give the Hope Diamond back. They should give it back.
They should also stop with the politically correct nonsense that goes on in their country.
I agree, but give the diamond back. Let's start with the diamond. Physically give it back.
Okay.
Give the diamond back. It's not yours. You plundered it, you dirty booger.
Don't forget, this is the same country that decades after we declared our independence from them and fought the Revolutionary War and won against them.
Yes.
Decades later, in the War of 1812, they came and burned down the White House.
Yes.
That we had to rebuild. So I guess you can't be surprised about the Hope Diamond.
Hey, you deserve Braveheart. You deserve Braveheart. Mel Gibson corrupting your line. That was outstanding.
He didn't corrupt their line. They were corrupting everybody else's line.
No, because he
was just taking some revenge.
He impregnated the queen.
Yeah, but that wasn't corruption. He was just setting things right.
Yeah, so now you got Irish blood on the throne.
Yes.
Deal with that.
But for those of us who are Irish and or Scottish, like me, we also have English in our lineage because of prima nocta.
Yes, and I declare it in my household.
That's just ridiculous. You're married to me, so...
Yes, I declare it. You're going to have to spend your wedding night with me.
Whoa, yeah. Well, when we were married, that's what we're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Anyhow, closing out this video now, moving on to the next one.
Yeah, very good. Very great film.
A.
I enjoyed the film.
A.
Yes, it was an A.
Okay. Thank you for watching our videos. Will you please subscribe to our channel, and will you please give this video a thumbs up? Thank you.